Alrighty, hi everyone. This is Outlander. This is season 1, episode 2, and my name is Iman. Welcome. This one is a great show. I fell in love with the first episode. I'm hooked already, so there's no more selling me. I'm already here. The first episode got I didn't know what to expect other than I knew she'd go back in time. I knew she was gonna meet someone else, but I didn't have any other context. And because I was like, what is this show about? And I do wish I went in like completely blind, because that would have been much cooler, but it's sort of hard to do that in this like day and age unless you kind of live under a rock. And I'm like, this is my job, so I'm aware of other shows and stuff. Like I think the one show I'm not sure of is The Expanse. I get a lot of people have told me to watch that show, and I probably will. It's just going to take time to get to it but I'll get to it at some point. But it's one show that I'm definitely not aware of, so, or at least like any of the context. But yeah, anyways, I'm ready to jump in. Let's do this. God, this is my dream. I want to be on horseback in a place like that, in a field, just running. Can I? Oh, this was a book series. Oh, the books must be really good. So crazy. She was just there. And it looks so different. I'm sure Frank would be so jealous of her. He's like, damn it, you got the history lesson, like the first-hand history lesson.
You can't expect any beast to carry around something that weighs as much as you. Taking care of the poor creature's feet.
Or like a cow riding a mouse.
I mean, it's true. God, horses can't carry that much weight.
Marta, you look and smell like a rat that's been dragged through sheep dung.
Kiss a kiss there.
And what do we have here?
Oh boy, I'm worried.
Come with me. We should find you something to eat, something to wear that's a bit more, well, a bit more.
What about him?
I can fend for myself.
No, you're hurt. He was shot yesterday. I bandaged his shoulder, but I wasn't able to clean it or dress it properly. I must tend to it before it gets infected.
They're gonna think she's a witch, aren't they? Like,
Charming.
oh man, it's so muddy. It's just crazy how things were. Oh wow. She's obviously gonna make her way down in here. We're gonna see what it was for.
Perfect.
Call out if you need anything else.
I can't believe they have
Oh,
this
thank you,
man
Mrs. Fitzgibbons.
completely like naked.
Everybody calls me Mrs. Fitz. You may also.
Well, that's nice. I was nervous about her because I was like, I don't know. It could go either way. Oh, ouch. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Oh, they did that too. They
Flogged me
whipped
twice
you.
in the space of a week. And they'd done it twice the same day, I expect. There's no joy in flogging a dead man.
Right.
Shouldn't make
Seriously,
anyone do
people
such
are so
things.
they literally find joy from
Ferrando
whipping
was not
people.
precisely joyous.
Obstruction? What's that? Doesn't sound like a serious crime.
Ah, well. I suppose it's whatever the English say it is.
Right, isn't they rule everything pretty much? I don't know.
It's horses for transport and such like.
Oh God, and
It was one day in October. Captain Randall
Frank
came
is
along to
here.
our place.
He's the worst one of
Father
them
was
all.
away. I was up in the fields when I heard shouting.
Oh God. Oh God. They're trying to take her or rape her.
Jenny!
God.
Jenny, run!
So they flogged him for protecting her.
I surrender to you, sir. Please. No. Now let my sister be.
Oh, it's his sister. Oh God. Well, maybe they're not related, but still. This guy. Why?
wanted to send a message. This is what you get when you fight back against the English.
Wow. All right, I actually did not know what I was walking into with this show. God.
You care to see more? Or would you rather go into the house and offer me better entertainment?
Don't go with him.
Aww.
Even if he slits my throat right before your eyes.
Now that resolve is something we should all like work towards.
She thought he'd kill me, and perhaps she was right. When I woke up, I was trussed up in the wagon with the chickens, jolting down the road to Fort William.
Damn. Gosh, I'm like pained right now because I'm just, that was a lot. That whole sequence was just so much. I sometimes forget how bad it used to
Your husband was
be.
a lucky man.
That's true. And how bad it is still in some parts of the world, and even in our own, where I live,
husband
America, its
was
prison
right going
systems are
through.
pretty much the same.
Fears would prey on him. Perhaps I was abducted.
No.
Perhaps I was dead.
Claire?
Or perhaps worst of all, I had left him for another man.
Mrs. Randall!
Oh yeah, since that whole thing happened the night before. Oh, that would cause me so much anxiety.
I was just thinking about my husband.
God, man, this is so hard. Good men are made. They're not, it doesn't just come about.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't just happen one day. You just become a good man. It starts from the beginning.
You need not be scared of me,
Yeah.
nor anyone else here.
Well, she's lucky because you are a good
So long as I'm with you.
guy.
When you're not with me.
You better be scared. Like, God.
Never forget that you're English in a place where that's not a pretty thing to be.
Jeez. Okay, so it's interesting to know. I like my
Sleep a bit.
my eyes are
worn
are
out.
just at his pecs. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
You must get up now. Come along. Up with you. You slept the whole day. Tis near 5 o'clock.
Really? Like 5 a.m. or 5 p.m.? I'm curious, is this how she bathes? I never really understood how people were, oh, because she's,
And of course it is that.
It's a brassiere.
she's like, damn, that's pretty smart.
It's from France.
But I am curious about like the bathing situation. Oh. What? Oh wow, so they put another it's like to make your hips look bigger? What's the purpose of that? Like what's the purpose? That must be heavy though. Heavy and you can't breathe. But she looks so good.
If I was going to survive, I needed to acclimatize myself as quickly as possible. I knew where I was, but when? 1743. Scotland is definitely part of Great Britain.
I see you've met some of my friends.
He calls his books his friends.
Decades before the American Revolution, England and France are at war again. One of the Hanover kings is on the throne. But which one?
I'm glad she paid attention in history class.
It's interesting, I took a course in withstanding interrogation as part of officer training, and the basic principle was that you stick to the truth as much as humanly possible.
I am a widowed. While I managed to escape the bandits, I was forced to abandon my horse and property. While wandering through the woods,
Man, she's really smart.
And you're saying that a man bearing the King's Commission decided to rape a stray lady traveler he came upon in the woods.
Does he
for
not
no
know what
good
happened in his own spot?
is there ever a good reason for rape, Master Mackenzie?
reason? I beg your
Touche.
forgiveness. He will be here Saturday next. He stops at Leoch on his way to Inverness once a month.
Leoch.
And he often has room for 1 or 2 passengers. I offer you the hospitality of our humble home.
I need to put subtitles on.
I did know something of this era. The politics, the people, their dress. Even some of their customs and colloquialisms were familiar.
But it's so
But it was all
beautiful.
secondhand knowledge.
I would be so uncomfortable. This cleavage out. Every time I do have like cleavage out, I'm like, "Ugh," and I'm in public. I don't know. Oh man, that's so awkward. I would literally wish for anything else. I could not deal with this. With every eye I know I'm literally like, you guys are watching me right now, but you're not literally here. Ooh, my anxiety is like trying to come out.
The ties we have to France are old, but not close. At some point, I suspect an ancestor decided to adopt the English style.
Oh boy, he knows stuff. He's well versed.
Trust
does
Miss
have a lot of
McTavish is feeling
books.
better.
Oh, no. You won't find this in Oxfordshire.
Wow. That's a pretty color.
Are you bound for Compiègne, then?
Compiègne, yes.
Slangevar. It's a lovely city, wouldn't you agree?
Well, in truth, I wouldn't know.
Is this truth serum or
I've
something?
been there myself. I saw you playing earlier today in the courtyard with your father.
With my father?
Yes, surely you remember, Dougal. You were swinging him around.
No.
I appear to have made an error.
I'm the son and heir of Colin Mackenzie.
Indeed you are.
Oh.
If you'll excuse me, I think I should retire early tonight.
God, the tension. I am such a bad liar, so I just would not know what to say. And she just keeps making mistakes. It's like, what else would she do? It's like...
Warm it for you.
No.
Her face.
I was thinking I should change the bandage on Mr. McTavish's shoulder. Where would I find the stables?
Top of the middle.
God. I'm like realizing how bad I would do in a place like this. If I was in her shoes, I would just crumble. I'm just like, Dave, can you help me? Can you take me there? I just need help. I don't like how these guys just keep looking at her like this. Like those two guys. Oh, gorgeous. No. Oh.
Aye.
Oh.
I'm
He
so
or
sorry
she
about
looks
that.
like Shadowfax.
Quite the appetite. Just think you'd eat grass if there was nothing else.
Have?
One might ask why you were raiding cattle and living the life of a thief instead of tending to your own farm.
There's a price in my head. £10 sterling.
Wow.
Now, once I could stand again, there was some friends made shift to get me out of camp by means I'd best not go into. I'm only no dream.
Leoch ook lag.
I like
You done
that.
stuff in your face when the horses run wild. And when will that colt be broken?
I'm none the sooner for starving myself about it.
Everyone has so much attitude. Oh.
Are you following me?
Oh, good. Good.
You are.
Let me warn you, mistress. These eyes won't be turning their gaze from you until they heed orders me to.
Okay, well, I'm glad it's not
It
for
could be
sinister
worse.
reasons.
Sharing guard duty with Angus, and you'll not be finding him as charming as myself. A fornicator of women and a shagger of wee beasties when there's no women to be found.
God.
Lucky for you, he prefers female creatures with the tang of the farmyard about them.
God.
Well, clearly you suspect me of something, or you wouldn't have people watching me.
I suspect you may be an English spy.
Me?
You haven't told the truth about who and what you are. Of that, I'm sure.
It's fair.
Now you can.
I leave with Mr. Petrie on Saturday. Forgive me. I would have thought your brother would have told you that. Perhaps you don't ken his mind.
Oh, there's gonna be some fighting.
Those kind are poison.
She's going foraging.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
But she
Imagine
saved
it's
your
funny.
life.
Thanks for the warning, though, but I do know those mushrooms are poisonous.
Who's it you're planning to do away with? Your husband, perhaps? Tell me if it works, and I'll try it on mine.
Man, who is she?
Actually, it's very effective in stopping bleeding when applied topically.
Fancy that?
Which mushroom is that? Can you like tell us?
Gellis, they say I'm a witch.
Are you?
Hardly. Although I am aware of how wood betony can transform toads into pigeons.
Oh, really?
You should
Okay.
come visit me sometime down in the village. I've a cabinet full of potions and medicinals. I wager
Oh,
would tickle your fancy.
They would have a lot in common.
Named for its most famous sufferer, who did not yet exist, I reminded myself. It was a degenerative disease of bone and connective tissue.
Oh, God. And he still will walk. He's like, nope. I gotta
Lautrec
show these
died at
people.
38,
I
and
can
given the
keep
state of
going.
medicine-
This is so interesting how this is how disputes were settled.
Her father wishes the Mackenzie to have her punished for disobedience.
Hoe zeg hoor. Ga niet kalk weg uitremeenje. Bristien en Christine daar.
I wish we knew what they were saying.
Agus nach verwacht krioch en jeeskershow.
He's offering to take the girl's punishment.
He continues to do this.
Odi Seamus Rua Shaw Yulan. Eka Gantoran Gia Shaki Yunsak in a show.
He allows it.
And what's the punishment?
He chooses fists
Fists.
rather than the strap.
What would this oh, like a whip? This is crazy. Oh my god. This is like their Jerry Springer. This is where Jerry Springer came about. The concept. Damn. Because this is kind of entertaining, right? Like they're watching, she's twirling her hair. They're like, man, let's listen to the gossip. Let's see what the disputes are, and let's see what the punishments are.
How long does this go on for? Only until blood's drawn. Usually when the nose is broken.
He's like, please, I don't want to hit him anymore. Really? He's like, I gotta keep doing this. Are you kidding me? Yeah, what is his thing right now?
Claire, stay here.
Different time for sure. And he bows. Wow. Like, thank you. Wow. It's not, I don't know, it's not as barbaric as I will say it's not as, because everyone is family here. There's still respect kind of still, which I think today in our like judgment, the way that the police and the prison systems work out, nobody knows each other, and there's real hate, and I don't know.
Mate, what a shame the lass. She's been beaten in the hall for everyone that knows her. Taking a long time to get over it. I'm sore, but I'm not really damaged.
Yeah,
I'll get
like
over it in a couple of
mentally.
days.
Wow, he's very wise. He can see like far in the future.
What she did was kindly meant, lad. Lear is my granddaughter, you ken.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Take that bandage off.
Can
your
she
shoulder
not
the
beat
next
her
2 days.
son? like, what?
It'll be easier if you did that.
Come on.
Yes. I'm leaving with Mr. Petrie tomorrow.
See? Well,
Well, he doesn't want her to go.
Goodbye to you then, Jamie.
safe journeys to you. Claire.
The bannock should last a day or two, and the cheese will keep for a week.
You've been too kind, Mrs. Fitzgibbons.
That's a
Can't
gorgeous,
thank you enough.
like, I love that on top of her dress, whatever this, it's almost like a scarf of some sort, like a fur. Oh God. Oh, okay, it's Dougal.
Call him,
I'm
she's
so
deceived.
worried.
Why?
It doesn't matter why.
Oh. Oh God. We're gonna see what this place really is. I honestly believe that we are, like, we live in some weird timeline. Because I get weird deja vu where I'm like, I feel like I've been here, I've seen this before, or I've met you before, I've known you for somewhere, and I feel like there's a loop in our like lives. I do feel that way. Of course I don't have evidence of it. It's just a feeling.
Good day to you, Mrs. Beecham.
Good day.
You have no connections with Clan Beaton, have you?
Beatons.
He's been looking it up, huh?
The healers of Clan Beaton are famous through the Highlands. We had one here, and this was a surgery, we called it.
Really?
Whoa. So she's gonna be here for a
I
while.
understand you have quite some skill as a healer yourself.
That's crazy.
You know the uses of these potions and things.
Some. This is all really fascinating.
This was her place. This ended up
showing
being
me.
her place. No, you're
must be
gonna be here for a minute.
I want you to take up the work.
But I'm leaving.
You're staying.
My cat's here. He just dropped my notebook and he was like,
What
he
did
looked
you?
at me.
Did one of his because you think I'm a spy. And surely you don't believe that.
Until I know for sure, you will remain here as my guest.
Not really a guest, but sort of a guest, I guess. Guest prisoner.
You mean as your prisoner, don't you?
Only if you try to leave.
Wow. Wow. Who would have thunk that this would be like the place she would be spending most of her time? No wonder she would have got like that tingle down her spine. Like, I've seen this. But does she have to stay in that place too? Like, is she locked in there? Is that a lock from the outside? They put that on the inside? Like, whoa. She said there wasn't ventilation in here, though. That's the only thing I'm worried. She's literally, like, trapped. And the ventilation. Damn. Okay. Well, damn. Oh God, I started the first episode with saying there's a book that I read a long time ago, and now I'm like, what if it was this book? Because I didn't realize this was a book series, so I'm going to have to look that up because now I'm like, this sort of sounds like the book I read, which would be hilarious if it was, but I don't know, it might not be still, but this is so interesting. Like, it's scary because there's gonna be good things and bad things. There's like trade-offs with everything in this world. Everything we do, there's a trade-off. There's not like you make one decision and you have like a positive outcome every time. It's like you don't know. There's just, life is not this fairy tale thing. So there's, the trade-offs are, the people aren't bad. Like, these people are actually like good-hearted. She's already met a few people that are really cool and she can make some friends quickly, but I'm not really sure how it goes with like the rights for women at this time. I don't think there are any rights. The whole like, are you a witch? Are you this? Like, knowledge was there. It's always been there. It's been a part of the human race, but a lot of ignorance really causes a lot of fear. And so I was worried that, well, like, I don't know what the girl, was it Gail or something like, or Gellis or something? She was saying that people think I'm a witch. And yeah, it's the times. So there's trade-offs. That's beautiful. She also gets to be close to Jamie, if that's even his real name, which is nice, and that's cool. But there's a lot of, she's a prisoner now. She can't leave. and she's trapped. So it's a huge trade-off. I don't know. I don't really know if there's anything good. I was trying to find some positives, but yeah. I got like anxiety from it just because I could see I the way my brain works is I put myself in the situation that I'm watching. It's just how it happens. It's just natural. So that's why I have like very like big emotions in some of the things I watch, because I'm like, oh my God, this is like happening. And so if that actually happened, I would just be so scared. And I am scared for her, because she's already a very, very confident and capable person, yet she's struggling, and she knows her history. She's from Europe, so she knows a lot, but then there's still a lot of stuff that she could really like screw up on. So it's really interesting to see that. Finding more about Jamie was really cool. Like, he's just a guy who he cares deeply, very, very deeply about others. And especially women so far, like he doesn't want women to be shamed or hurt in any way, which is beautiful. I mean, we should feel that way towards each other. You know, that is a beautiful thing. I'm just curious, like, what his relationship was with his mom, or if he had a sister. Because I don't know if that girl was his sister, but I don't know. It could maybe that was his sister. I don't know. And after that, he's just so sensitive to what happens. But I was saying something about good men are made. You're not just born. I mean, I believe we're born and we can be good, but it's just what happens to us in our lives. Like, what do our parents what are our parents' influence on us? What do they tell us? What's right and wrong? And that really molds us into the human beings we are. And the resolve that he had, where he was like, if Randall slits my throat, you do not go up there, you don't give him your body. I will die for you, for your dignity. And that is something that we are not born with. When faced with a situation like that, I would love to sit here and say, oh, for sure, I would die for the people I care about. For sure, I would. And partly, I know I would be terrified, but I would do it for my kids, because that's just like, I can't help that. That's my nature right there. But even then, like, I've never been faced with that type of situation, and fear of death is huge. So I don't know, if the world was had more of Jamies, then I think things would be a much, much brighter place. But this is a world where it's a mixed bag, and everyone has a different upbringing. Clearly, Randall had a really bad one, and I'm of the belief that if most of our behaviors are from our childhood, from trauma, and when we don't figure it out and we don't look at it, it just gets worse. And I believe everybody can be healed, everybody can do better. It just gets harder and harder. The older we get, it just gets harder, because our brains get, they form these pathways which form habits, and then if we keep doing the same thing over and over, that pathway gets bigger and bigger and bigger and thicker. So it's not easy to create a new pathway, but it's absolutely possible with the way our brains work. So our brains are beautiful in that way, but it's not easy, and you will fail, and you will backslide, and you will make mistakes on the journey out of like your darkness. So yeah, I think I don't know, just seeing him as a character, it's impressed me, and it makes me think like, man, yeah, that's not something that you're just born with. Like, I will die for you. Like, maybe a long time ago people were more spiritually sound. I mean, I do 100% believe that, and there was obviously a much more community-based, like more in the indigenous societies, where things were just different in that way. But Nowadays, no, it's every man for themselves today. And just seeing the way that they handle disputes, like there's again, there's trade-offs. I think it's cool to see that, because some of it's funny, because you're like, the Uncle George is acting stupid again, like look at what he's mad at, and then everyone's laughing, and he's like yeah, okay, you're right, I'm over exaggerating, because everybody knows everybody, so it almost seems much more fair to have whatever punishment is coming. And I feel like Colum is pretty fair from what I can see. I mean, he's Claire is a prisoner, but I feel like he's fair. He's quite wise. Dougal is also like a wise dude. I like him, but I don't know. It was just interesting. Obviously, like the father punishing his daughter for being loose is like crazy. It's just great, because she looks like she's much older than, like, and you wouldn't punish even if the daughter was 12, and you need to sit down and talk with her. But of course, that stuff wasn't happening, or if it was, it wasn't the norm. You need to be like, are you okay, honey? Like, we need to talk. Are you being taken advantage of? But I don't think that language was accessible at that point. It's barely accessible to us today. We don't even have language to communicate our feelings, and that's why so many of us are learning about generational trauma and like trauma and trauma, PTSD, just terms that we just had no idea. We've just been living our life being like, this is normal, and then we get older and we're like, oh damn, I had a hard childhood, or something like that. It's just, as we evolve, as we learn more, the world gets bigger, and our knowledge gets bigger, and we learn from our mistakes for the most part. But then there's still so many people in this world who don't even have that language, and a lot of disputes are still handled in this way, and it is quite barbaric. But I feel like in this situation, for this one, the one thing I do like about it, again, is they're all family. They all eat together. Everybody spends time together. Everybody knows of each other. That's important. And so I feel like that is still fair. Even when Jamie was getting beat up, even the guy who was beating him up he kept like looking at Dougal like, are we done? Like, I don't want to, okay, I guess I'll do it. Oh, sorry, Jamie, gotta punch you again. And even Jamie bowing down and being like, it's interesting. It's interesting. I think, and I was saying, just in our justice system, we still have very barbaric things that go on, and it's not like we're in any better. In some ways, sure, absolutely, and then in other ways, we are maybe even worse. So it's just, if you haven't studied the American justice system and what happens in the prison systems, what really happens, you can't really talk about it, because a lot of people just listen to what they see. They're not researching, but I would say research. And the amount of people who are in prisons being abused, being tortured, and people who are innocent and in prison is very high. And once you're there, you are stripped of your identity. It's just horrible. Some people obviously have committed atrocities and they have no remorse, and I'm not talking about those types of heinous crimes. I'm talking about just low offense, drug, whatever else, all that stuff. It's just, there shouldn't be one prison fits all. And to think we have so much money, so much knowledge, there's a lot of technological advances, yet we haven't figured this out. Well, I think people have figured it out, but they also figured out that making prisons brings money, and that's why there's always prisons being opened, and that is a big deal. People get money when lawyers, the judges, everyone involved is making money, the guards. So it's not about, oh, we love justice. It's about money. and people are forgotten in prison. And yeah, so I would say barbaric back in the day, still barbaric today. I guess nothing new under the sun is the theme. But I loved this one. I'm really trying to take everything in. So I put on subtitles with this one because I was like, I'm sorry, but I can't understand everything. I wish. And that did help a bit, so I can kind of like soak it in. But Claire, she is stuck in the surgery room, and it's just, I love that. I love the playing with the timeline like that. Like, yep, you've been here before. I mean, does anyone else get deja vu and feel like, oh, I've seen this. I've been here. I've done this. I feel like that is literally, yeah, it's like, what movie is there? There's a movie. Maybe there isn't, or maybe it's an anime. I just can't remember. But I was watching the Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix. I'm doing reactions to that too. And Graham Hancock was saying something about he feels like there's some sort of an amnesia on the population. I actually feel like there is. Like, I feel like it's just like weird. I sometimes think things are just looped and we have to keep doing the same thing over and over until we learn, maybe. I don't know. Make the right decisions, better choices. I don't know, but it's just like, this made me think of that. And I was like, damn, maybe we do have amnesia, and some of the deja vu is like, just like little glimpses of like, oh, whoa, maybe I have been here. I don't know. Of course, I have no idea. No idea. Just a thought. Just a feeling. But that's all. That's all for now. I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys for watching with me. Bye, everybody.